Well, we're sitting here on a lovely March Saturday afternoon. Sitting here with my friend Joe.
Yep. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Bull. And while we're enjoying some of this lovely weather, just wanted to talk to you a little bit about your awesome ride you got sitting over here. It's a beautiful white Mustang. What year is it again?
Thank you. It's 2002.
2002.
Mustang GT.
Okay.
I've always been a Chevy man, actually.
Really? Now that was definitely going to be a question. Okay, so that's awesome. That's what it is. So, what made you decide to step over to the Fords?
Well, I've had a couple old Camaros, had a couple old Novas in the past.
Okay. So you've done the classic Chevy thing then.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah. And I was actually, I'd been looking online for a while for older first generation Camaro.
Okay.
I never could really make up my mind on one.
Okay.
I seen this car sitting on a lot.
Right.
It was all stock at the time that I bought it. But it just looked nice.
Grabbed your attention.
I took it for a test drive. I liked it, and I bought it. That was that.
That's what it is. That's what it is. And I've been a Chevy man all my life as well. Started out when I was a kid. My father had a 71 Monte Carlo, and he had a 66 Impala Super Sport. And pretty much people knew him because of his old school Chevys. And they weren't show cars, they were daily drivers. So I thought that was pretty cool. But it's funny that you say that, because even as he got older, he started stepping over into Fords. He wound up getting himself a Lincoln Town car, and he just loved the ride and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm real impressed with how y'all made that jump like that. Ford's definitely good cars, of course. So
with the Chevys, when I open the hood, I know what I'm looking at.
Yes.
I open the hood of the Ford, and I'm like,
little different.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Same but different, especially the newer cars with
Okay.
all the computer stuff they got and everything.
Okay.
But
yeah, I know it's also a big thing going from the carburation over to the fuel injections. And I know a lot of Mustangs and the newer cars today generally have some sort of turbo or something on them. Or, have you added one to yours?
not yet.
Okay.
Actually, I was kind of bouncing around in my mind whether I wanted to do heads and cams.
I got you.
Or whether I wanted to do the turbo.
Okay.
And I really couldn't make up my mind which I wanted to do. And to do both, then I would need to do some forged internals at the bottom.
Right.
Really
had
get
to change
expensive.
out your crank and all, right?
So I really, that's still up in the air. I haven't done either one of those yet.
Okay. Well, look, with this being uncertain financial times, I can understand that. There's work that I've kind of pumped the brakes on my own car, so I do understand. But it's definitely a beautiful ride. So, I mean, do you show it at all, or is it?
Yes, that was kind of one of my goals, even when I was looking for older Camaro, was to buy something that I could take around to shows and things. Some of the shows that I went around, I seen a lot of people are showing. Sometimes when you think of car shows, you think of older classic cars, but you go to the car shows now and they're different than what they used to be. You see a lot of newer cars there. So that also gave me the idea, well, I can clean this one up, fix this one up, and I can show it.
And you've done
I did do that for the first 2 or 3 years that I had. Then I had it after I did the work to it. I didn't do any shows last year, but I'm thinking about maybe getting back into it this year. Okay.
Well, all right. Well, you have done some stuff to it. I can definitely see it, of course. Give me a rundown of some stuff you have done to it.
Well, I did a lot of stuff all at one time, and then I did a little bit at a time. But I started with the rear end. I put 373 Ford racing gear in there. Ford racing aluminum drive shaft.
Okay.
I put a spec stage 2 clutch in there, and also an aluminum flywheel, spec flywheel.
Okay.
I put a JLT cold air intake.
Okay.
AccuFab upper plenum and 70mm throttle body. I have Steeda underdrive pulleys, MSD coil-on plugs.
Okay.
I have a SCT tune in it. I have the moderate tune, but then I also have the race tune that I have in there, which I usually just keep that in there all the time.
I got you.
You just have to run the higher octane gas.
All right.
What else have I done? I had the transmission rebuilt last year, put a little bit of heavy duty gears and things in there because I actually had lost my third gear.
Okay.
Just wanted to go crunch every time you put that in.
Okay.
So I had that rebuilt.
Okay.
I also upgraded the brakes. I went to the big Cobra brakes.
Yeah, I was
there.
looking at that when I first came up. Yeah, and you can see them really good through the rim. There's awesome chrome rimless on there, but I can see that they've been drilled and fluted to disperse the heat a lot better.
Yeah, and
that's awesome.
There's a big difference from the stock brakes to those. So it'll stop you on a dime.
I bet it will. I
also went with the old Bullet, the old style. You remember the SS Kragers back in the day?
Yes, and that's
I like that style.
That's the design that caught my eye right off the bat.
So I went with the Bullet chrome rims.
Okay.
I like wide tires. The fatter the better. So I put 315s on the back on a 10.5-inch rim.
Right.
And the 9-inch rims on the front.
Okay.
Those are 275s.
Right.
On the front.
And that's classic hot rod as well. I mean, you find a lot of guys, they always run a wider rim on the backs for gripping. And that's also good.
I also did the suspension. I had the Ebot 2-inch drop sport line springs. They dropped the car approximately 2 inches. Went with the Ebot anti-roll bar in the back and in the front. Big fat bar compared to the little skinny bar.
Gotcha. So your curves a lot better.
Yep.
That's what it is.
And the Pro damper kit, which is the shocks and the struts on the front as well.
Well, it's got a really nice mean stance where you could be on the street cruising, or hey, you want to turn it up a few notches and let it go. I can see that too. That is definitely awesome.
What else I do? I got a Pro 5.0 short throw shifter in there as well.
Okay.
And I think that's about it.
Well, that's more than it. That is an awesome amount of work.
Just a lot of the bolt-ons. Also the exhaust. I have the SLP catback.
Okay.
And I have the Bassani X-pipe.
Yes. Okay.
I didn't do the headers yet because I was still tossing that around in my mind. I was going to do the heads and the cams. I was going to do all that at the same time. I also thought about getting rid of the factory K-frame and putting on the UPR tubular K-frame on the front. That would lighten it up a little bit, and it would also, those cars are so tight in there, it gives more room when you put the headers in there.
I got you. I know even with the old school Chevrolets, a lot of times when you put the headers on, the headers have a tendency to wrap down underneath the engine block, and if you had any type of starter issues, you almost had to take that one side off just to get to the starter. So I agree with you saying that.
I put a set of headers on a car I had a long time ago, and I swore I would never do it again.
I got you.
I'll pay somebody to do that.
I got you. Well, and the thing about it, they got so much technology these days where they're actually making a shorter header because I guess a lot of garage mechanics have complained about that sort of deal. So now they're coming out with different type of headers for just about every make, for Fords, GMs, even some of the Chrysler's now, because they're hitting really big and hard with the Magnums and the Chargers. So once the Hemi made its roar back, you know, it was a big deal. So I
have had it. I have had it dynoed since I did all the work. That's top secret.
You told me you got to kill me. I got you. Look, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. So just know, I guess, if you see a white Mustang streaming by you, you already know. You've been told.
I didn't set out to build a race car. I just set out to build something that was quick and fun to drive. I still get 23 miles a gallon on the highway.
And that's awesome.
Around town.
That's awesome.
16, 17.
Okay.
Depending on how heavy my foot is.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
I'm sure you still turn a lot of heads too. Like I said, it's clean, and it's not often nowadays you see too many people who can keep a white car and just keep it spotless and keep it beautiful. You've done an awesome job. That's just beautiful.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for talking.
Thank you.
All right. As always, bullseye is on the street.